Hey everyone. So I had to change the link for this because I actually made the live in YouTube and then I didn't know how to connect to it. So I had to cancel that video and then start a new one through the streaming software. I'm still learning. Happy Tuesday. It's Tuesday, right? Yeah, it's Tuesday. So how's everyone doing today? Good morning, Mike. So I wanted to check in on my lovely tribe members, but at the same time, go live for the first time on my channel. So I'm learning every day. Ellen. So, okay, this room was never meant to be a permanent streaming room. I came up here because my husband was downstairs playing online games and wouldn't shut up. And it was nice because I could also get away from my animals who would constantly want to go outside to go potty. However, the two animals of the house that have claimed me as their human have refused to let me be here alone. So the Doberman is on the floor behind me and my cat is right here. So expect some interruptions. Yay, it's Lorraine's first video. It's great to meet you too. Oh, speak of the devil. This is Thor. I am his people. Hey, Thor. Yes, you're very sweet. And you're now on TV. Yes, welcome to all the new tribe members and, of course, my subscribers. So if you have any questions, now's the time. Ask away. You have me for an hour, maybe more, because in the community it does get a little winded. We start off-topicing about everything. So the first thing I want to discuss is how is everybody doing on their brain fitness challenge for October? I have noticed that I'm having more, I'm meditating more, like I'm having more quiet moments, and it's kind of nice. I'm also trying to get out in the sun more. I shared a link to Dr. Malcolm Kendrick's video on heart disease in the community. And one thing he did mention was that women who were exposed to more sunlight, their rates of all-cause mortality drop considerably. And I find that interesting and I want to learn more. I have definitely been getting more sunlight since going carnivore. So I think, I'm going to start getting more sunlight. I mean, I don't wear sunglasses anymore. I'm not scared of the sun. I don't think it's going to cause skin cancer. And I really do think it had something to do with the seed oils, interacting with our bodies and then interacting with the sun, because, I mean, a lot of sunscreens and face creams have the vitamin A, which is supposed to be bad, and that's supposed to react with the sun and all the chemicals in it anyway. It's no bueno. Mike Shaw, I'm curious about the PhD coach stuff. What does that entail? Thanks. So if you're a part of Dr. Berry's community, I've been there for over a year and a half now. And I pretty much communicated to him a desire to help others and help him any way that he needed on his community because of everything that he had done for me. And I was helping, answer questions and became a certified primal health coach And I really don't know how it came about. I mean, I told him that I had an interest, and then I was messaged by the mentors in the community and asked if I would like to volunteer my time. So I said, sure. And so now I help others. But that's basically how it goes. I mean, I'm not exactly sure if they're going to be adding more. I'm pretty sure down the road, especially as the community grows. But yeah, that's basically how you do it. All diseases have gone way up thanks to those blasted seed oils. Yeah, no joke. And not only that, hey, Mitzi. Not only that, the chemical reactions with the sun, I mean, I don't think that's very good either. It can't be. Christy says that she wastes a lot of time online. Oh, wait, I don't have to repeat these because I have live chat and it's going to be at the end of the video, another plus for YouTube. So if you catch me doing that in the network, the chat doesn't show up in the replay. So I'm trying to read a lot too. I will admit that I have not started chapter 4 yet, and I'm going to get to that tonight. I will be prepared by Saturday. Ellen, I am completely avoiding the news too. I'm actually going to make a point to watch some comedy movies. I realize that I haven't watched any comedy in a really long time, and I need to laugh out loud. Probably, I don't know, something with Jim Carrey. Ace Ventura 2 was my favorite. I mean, he was brilliant in that, especially when he does the fruit thing where he had the cherries in his nose and he popped them out. Oh my God. That was like, I bet he came up with that himself too. But yeah, I need a good comedy. So Mitzi, what you up to? I gotta figure out how I can make you a mod. It says I can put you in timeout or ban you. I think I have to do it through YouTube. Question, I'm quite interested on your thoughts about reversing blocked arteries, especially the LAD. Is it possible with the PhD? Thank you. I have heard Dr. Berry talk about there might be a little, like you might not be able to reverse it 100%, but the one thing you will do for sure is cause more damage. So if you started eating the PhD, then the progress of it would completely stop. So yeah, you're definitely going to stop your progress staying on it, but it's got to be a lifestyle thing. You can't just, I think I'll eat it for 6 months or a year. And then, because once you start eating sad or any other way, the progress is going to keep getting worse. But I've seen like a lot of crazy things since I've been on that site. People reversing things that I never thought possible. And I've seen some things myself that I didn't think were possible. So I can't say for sure. Dr. Berry might be able to answer that more clearly. I'm also reading a book called The Clot Thickens, and it's actually discussing this stuff. So that might be a good book to look into. He also has a lot of interviews on YouTube. So if you were to search Dr. Malcolm Kendrick or even The Clot Thickens, then his videos will come up, and he goes into a lot of detail. Bob, hey! Oh, Mitzi is working on developing weapon system. That would hurt my brain too. We have a celebrity in the house, Mr. Semi-Retired Bob. You're welcome, Lorraine. It's a good book. It got a little sciencey for me at one point, so I'm going to have to go back and read chapter 3 to really absorb it. Sometimes I have to take it paragraph by paragraph and just let it sink in. But I'm determined because, I mean, if I'm going to coach people, then I need to tell them why meat and saturated fat isn't going to kill them. So that's good. And I'm still working on my dad. He's a little stubborn. He is still hanging on to the idea that his sciatica is hereditary. And I was like, well, in the sense that you eat the same diet as your sister and your mom, then yeah, it's hereditary. You inherited their diet. So he's not, it's not quite snapping in his brain that if he eats the PhD and reduces his inflammation, his sciatica will go away. Maybe he still thinks it's because he's gotten to that certain age, but I'm not buying it. You know, Mitzi is a true celebrity. She needs to do more videos. Hint, 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 hint. I like it when she talks. Plus, you get to sit there and pick her brain. Yeah, when I first saw Bob in the Patreon group, you know, I thought I was suffering when I started the PhD diet. And then Bob tells his story, and I was just like, okay, so maybe I won't feel so sorry for myself anymore. But there are people who have real problems that are reversing everything. Bob, how many medications were you on again? I remember it was quite a few. But it's truly amazing, and nothing makes me happier than when I sign on to the community and I see somebody posting in NSV that they have reversed something or that something is getting better. And it's just like that gif of the little girl who's so excited. She's going like this because it's exciting. It's exciting when somebody is suffering and then just by simply changing their diet, they're better. And I'm still blown away. It's been over a year and a half. And it's just feel like waking up every morning and it's like, I cannot believe this is my life now. It's amazing. So yes, Mike, absolutely 100%. It is miraculous. And I still getting used to it, but it's pretty awesome. And when you spend decades, whether you're in pain or you have digestive issues or one after another, some organ keeps failing, whether you have it removed or you're able to save it, it's just crazy. So yeah, if there are any people in here that are considering trying this, try it for 30 days. Because I don't think that if you start to feel better, then that's a sign of something harming you. I think the better you feel, the more you're healing. And yeah, so everything they tell us to stay away from, red meat, saturated fat, cholesterol. How come the more I eat it, the better I feel? It doesn't make sense. Bob reversed his spinal stenosis. That's awesome. I had to clarify with Dr. Berry, so I sent him a message, and he got back to me, and he said it's from inflammation, and the proper human diet will get rid of it. And it kind of makes sense because I had plantar fasciitis, which I didn't think had anything to do with diet. I thought it was because I was 266 pounds and all of that weight was finally hurting my feet. But it would come in waves. So I think that if I was actually damaging my feet, they would just keep continuing to hurt and it would progressively get worse. But I would have the plantar fasciitis for maybe a week, sometimes two. There was once where it was like 2 weeks and I had to walk around with a boot because I just couldn't sit all day. And I haven't had a single plantar fasciitis flare since starting PhD. So, yeah, I believe it. So if Dr. Berry says that he must have seen it, or he wouldn't tell me that. Huzzah, Pa. What's fake keto? You know, Mike makes an interesting point. Every time I see a video or somebody talks about this, there always seems to be money involved. I just can't ignore that anymore. I can't ignore it. I learned how to highlight a comment. Yay. But yeah, I have yet to see somebody come in, like they come into the community and they're kind of skeptical. Well, I have this, and this, and I'm not sure this is going to help me, or they're still worried about cholesterol. And then 6 months later, they're singing a different tune. So that's fantastic in itself. But yeah, there isn't much that I haven't seen reversed. In fact, I should ask him to do a video on sciatica. Maybe if he does a video on sciatica, my dad will listen to him. Thanks, Mark. So every time I turn around, I gotta learn something new. It's driving me crazy. Yeah, Dr. Berry is definitely source number one for me. I started out listening, I had a whole list of people that I would watch on YouTube, and it would take up a good chunk of my day, like 3 hours. If I were to add it all up throughout the day, I was watching videos. And then I realized one day, why am I watching these people? This sounds crazy. And as I healed and progressed through carnivore, I was just like, nope, that doesn't sound true to me at all. And I just started unsubscribing from people because it wasn't worth my time. Oh, see, Alice, This is why I got rid of cable. I canceled cable like 3 years ago. I was so tired of commercials. And if it wasn't for, some useless toy for kids or horrible snacks for them, it was a medication commercial. And they would hurt my brain because at the end, it would list all of the symptoms that you could get from taking this. And I was like, I can't listen to this anymore. This is insanity. You're going to take a medication for this problem. And then in addition, you're going to get this, 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 and this. And I was like, are you kidding me? So it felt like nails running across my brain. I said, I'm done. I'm cutting off cable. I do not want to see a single commercial. So I stayed with, I'm a Prime member, so I watched Prime TV or Prime, whatever it is. I didn't watch TV often. I'm a big reader. So sometimes I would have something on in the background for my tinnitus. It bothers me. I can't sit in a completely quiet room and read, or my tinnitus will bother me. So I'll put the TV on real low and just let that go in the background. And I wouldn't watch anything with commercials. I was done. I had it. And then when I started with YouTube, I paid the extra money to get the premium so that there would be no commercials because I'm done. I'm done. Paul, fake keto equals sugar, alcohol, low carbs, low carb tortillas, Atkin candies. I didn't even know they had Atkin candy. Well, I'm glad you are done with fake keto. Yeah, Bob, I didn't know anything about cholesterol when I first started carnivore. I knew the basics from Dr. Berry videos and lives, that not to be afraid of that. And I'm not going to lie, I went in completely trusting him. I was like, I've tried everything. I'm tired. I'm going to do everything you say. I just went in and I started learning more about cholesterol and as I went on, and especially during the coaching certification, there was a chapter sort of in the beginning that really kind of deep dived into it, and I had to go slowly with that one because there were a lot of new terms for me and I had to write them down and go look up what those were so that I could understand how they were used in the context of the material. So that took a lot of time, but it was worth it because I need to know this stuff. I need to know this stuff if I'm going to help people. Let's see. Yeah, the side effects are crazy. And my cholesterol was really low when I finished the plant diet. I think my HDL was 87 and my LDL was like 52. But I was in danger. Now that I know what I know I was in danger, and I'm glad I started carnivore when I did. Now, Lorraine, are you a part of Dr. Berry's community? I know names are different than they are in the community, so I have a little bit of a problem figuring out who's a tribe member. I'm so sorry you're going through the ulcer thing. Yes, Lorraine's a tribe member. Yay. Have you talked to Dr. Berry about your blockage or anything? Because he would probably definitely be the person to ask. Ellen, exactly. Just because while they're saying all this crazy stuff in the commercial, there's a person smiling. Like their life is fantastic since they started this. And then they go and they list the list of side effects. And you're like, how can that person be smiling? I wouldn't be smiling. Oh, goodness. So I have an NSV. I'm at the tail end of my fat loss. I'm actually just a few points away from my. I know BMI is not a big thing, but I'm just a few points away from it going to normal. I know that I can put on muscle and easily be kicked back into the overweight category. But yeah, I wouldn't necessarily call it stalled. Some people would call it a stall, but I was working out in the gym and I was putting on weight. So I know it was muscle, but yeah, I didn't see the scale go down for quite a while. But yeah, my BMI is almost in normal. That's kind of crazy. I know I will try to. The Q&As are at midnight here. Oh, you're in the UK. Okay. But yeah, and I think I'm almost ready for a size smaller pants. That's the true measurement. I love that. I like using tape measures and pants as a measurement. You've got to be kidding me. A drug to grow your eyelashes. I'm without words on that one. Especially when there's false eyelashes out there, and don't get me wrong, I am not condoning false eyelashes because there are chemicals in that adhesive, and you are putting that on your eye. And I apologize to anybody who uses those lashes right now. I'm not trying to scare you, but think about that. The chemicals in the adhesive that sit on your eye all day long, they're getting into your eye. That scares me. But to actually take a drug where the side effects are cancer, I'm sorry, that's a deal breaker for me. I think they would too. I noticed when I was on the plant diet, if I would rub my eye, lots of eyelashes would come out. And I don't see that anymore. Like I could sit here and pull on my eyelashes, and if I was a plant diet, I would have eyelashes in my fingers. There's none. So, really? My dog wants out. But yeah, this is disturbing, and I don't know. But yeah, I think carnivore would, because right at the temples where my hair had been thinning on the plant diet, I have like little sprouts, little short hairs. They're growing back in. So carnivore will grow your hair. Okay, let me let Whiny out. I'm sorry. Let's go. Bye. Yeah, and another side effect is you could go blind. Yeah, no thank you. I don't want, I can't even wear mascara without my eyes getting red and irritated. So I haven't worn mascara in, I don't know. How old am I? I'm almost 50, so 30 years. I just don't wear makeup. Sometimes, if it's like a special occasion or we're going somewhere nice, I have a little hack that I'll share with you guys. So I use eyeliner on the top lid, but it's not actually eyeliner. I take one of those very fine paint brushes. You can get them at any craft store. And what you do is you get, welcome back. You get activated charcoal powder, and you just get the brush wet and dip the tip in to wet the powder just a little bit. And then you have completely natural eyeliner that will not hurt your eyeballs. In fact, it'll suck up any bacteria or bad stuff that you have on your eyelid. Hey, John, how are you? You take a drop of what? Do you share? Did I miss something? Now I gotta scroll up. What did Mike say? What does he take a drop of? So yeah, that's about the extent of my eyeliner. Now I do use what do you call it? Eyeshadow for, oh, yeah, Mike. You know what it is? It's the gate downstairs at the bottom of the stairs is closed, so she really has nowhere to go. Hey, Lou. Oh, okay. Did they happen to tell you what the eye pressure was from, or is it possibly getting better with PhD? Oh yeah. Anyway, as I was saying before, my dog interrupted me. I use an eyeshadow for my eyebrows. I got those nice thin Japanese eyebrows, so they gotta be filled in a little bit. But I try to get the most natural stuff. Obviously, I'm not gonna go for like CoverGirl, and I don't know if they have talcum powder or any other chemicals in their stuff, so I try to avoid it. But for the most part, I just have no desire to wear makeup. And now that I'm older and have watched those documentaries on the chemicals and the products that we use, yeah, I'm not. She's a weirdo. When I was a TV guy, I wore a cover guy. Funny. Oh, since it's live and it is public and it's for YouTube, there is a question I have been wanting to address that one of my commenters left. I just didn't think it warranted an entire video because I'm a boring eater. And so what she wanted to know was what I ate and how I cooked it. So yeah, I'm a boring eater. I am happy just eating salted beef with some egg yolks and occasionally some bacon. And I could eat those 3 things indefinitely. I have no desire to change it. I am picky about how I cook my steak, and it has to be done on cast iron because I don't care what anybody says. The way you cook it changes the taste. And I originally chose cast iron because my iron was extremely low. But what I found after cooking on a ceramic pan, I like the cast iron better. So I will use cast iron forever. And I also bought a Blackstone cast iron grill. The only time I can't grill is in the middle of Arizona summer. It's not going to happen. But the other 3 seasons, yeah, I'm happy to go outside and grill my steak every morning and hopefully make my neighbors jealous. But so yeah, I cook on a cast iron. I sear my steak till it's got a nice crust on the outside, but obviously not burned because I don't like the taste of charred stuff. But the inside is rare. So I cook it to about 85 degrees, usually won't go over 90 degrees. My dad refers to that as it's still mooing, which is fine. He doesn't like it. I like it. It made my husband a little nervous too. Well, come back in. It made my husband a little nervous too. At first, he, believed that if you eat undercooked meat, you're going to get sick. And I was like, this is the only way I've ever eaten it. You're not going to get sick. Trust me. And so he ate a raw steak, and that's the only way he wants it now. Early on, I found that I had reactions to egg whites. So what I do is I separate them to just the yolk. And then I put a generous helping of bacon grease in the bottom of a ceramic pan and just plop the yolks in on low heat. Wait about a minute and then flip them over. It's just a little flip and they flip right over. And because I like my yolks runny, I don't like hard-boiled yolks at all or overly cooked yolks. So in order to keep them runny, you need a good puddle of bacon grease so they easily flip. It only takes a minute and a half, 2 minutes to warm up the yolk and then just slide them onto a little plate. I love it. And bacon is cooked like bacon. Air fryer, cast iron pan, it really doesn't matter. Just cook up bacon. I don't eat it often. I'd say maybe 2 or 3 times a week I would want some bacon. And then there's butter. There's days when I just crave butter, and I'll just put a stick of butter in a butter dish and I'll salt the top of it with Redmond's. And so every time I take a slice of butter, then I have salted butter. It's so good. Oh my God. There was a day where I ate an entire stick of butter, not in one sitting. It was just slices every day. And every time I had a slice of butter, I wanted another slice. So I listened to that craving, and it's when you put the salt on top of it and it just kind of sits there all day and the butter is room temperature. Oh, wow. I'm going to go have some butter after this is done because that is good. Let's see. I think I saw a question up here. Here we go. How do you clean and take care of your cast iron? I'm trying to be brave enough to buy it. Okay, this is so easy. There are a lot of sites online that will tell you to go through all of this crazy stuff to clean your cast iron. You do not have to do this. This is what I do. So most of the time your cast irons come already seasoned. If that's the case, then I would cook a pack of bacon in it. That will make sure it is really seasoned. Once I cook a pack of bacon in a cast iron pan, it's ready. It's good. So then I will use that cast iron until it starts to get, you'll see like some crumbs or some grit start to build up on it. It's kind of a light brown color, and it's pretty noticeable on a black cast iron pan. So when that happens, I'll scrape all of the grease out, like as much as I can. And that's easier to do when the pan is cold and the grease is hard. So you scrape out as much as you can. And then I take coarse salt. It's the big chunky salt, and get the cheapest stuff you can, because you're just going to throw it away. So I put a big pile in the pan, and then I take a scrubby. Any kind of scrubby will do. I wouldn't go with sponge because you're just going to tear it up. So any kind of scrub pad. And then you just sit there with the salt and you just rub the salt in. You can go circular motions, and that's going to pull up all of the garbage. And when your salt turns dark brown, scrape it all into the trash, pour another pile of salt in there, and do it again. And I usually do it twice. If it's super dirty, you might have to do it a third time, but you're going to be able to tell when you look inside the pan if it's done or not. And then you just scrape all the salt out as much as you can. If it still looks like it's seasoned pretty good, you're probably fine. You don't need to season it again. If you think it might, and so if your pan doesn't look as black, it might need to be seasoned again. Cook some bacon in it, and you're done. I have never had a steak or anything stick in my cast iron doing this method. Plus, you don't have to put soap on it. You don't have to get it wet. I've never had any problems. I do this probably every 2 weeks. If it really needs it. If not, then after I'm done with the salt or whatever, if it doesn't need to be seasoned, then I'll just put a little bit of tallow in there, cook my steak. I never have any sticking problems. And then after about 3 or 4 steak cooks, the grease that gets rendered from the steak is going to start to build up. Then what I do is I wait for it to cool and harden, and then I scrape out half of that grease, and then I just keep using it. I mean, I haven't gotten sick, so if it's not dirty, then I wouldn't worry about it. But it's really easy. Ellen uses hot water. See, I don't even use hot water. I just throw the salt in there and scrub it around. Yes, Vicki, I have to have this diffuser, especially since I wouldn't call it a diffuser, it's a humidifier. We haven't had rain in, I think, almost 2 months now, and I'm getting dry. My skin feels tight. Hey, Kayla, what's up? But yeah, that's pretty much my boring eating. I used to crave seafood. I haven't been craving it for a while. I have no idea what that means. But lately, yeah, I've just been sticking to triple B&E. it's all I want. Although I have been thinking about cod liver for the last couple of days, so maybe I should have some of that. You're going to do it my way, Ellen. Yeah. This is a very common question. Have I battled the sweet tooth? In the beginning, yes, I battled the sweet tooth. And I drowned it in bacon. So a thought would pop into my head, something that I really like to eat. And it was usually bread, pasta. Sometimes in the morning, I used to love toaster strudels. So good. But I told the little voice in my head to shut up, and then I drowned it with bacon. And that's all I could do was to remain focused every time a thought popped in my head about something sugary, and soda was a big one because, I mean, we didn't drink coffee, we drank soda. That was our coffee. And so it would pop into my head, and I was like, no, shut up. And then just ate bacon until I couldn't fit another bite in. And at that point, my stomach was so full that even the thought of eating something, even if it was sugary or I really was craving it, was undesirable. Some people do that with butter. I've even heard of someone just eating bacon grease. So everybody has to find their thing that gets rid of those cravings, but a lot of times you just got to take it one craving at a time and talk to yourself in your head if you have to. I mean, it might sound a little crazy, but yeah, I told myself to shut up so many times. Like, shut up. No, we're not going there. I'm sick of it. And stay focused on what I was doing. Animal products, animal fat. That's it. I don't need that crap anymore. Look what it did to me. And so you have this little small conversation in your head, and then finally you're like, oh, okay, I made it through. And then it goes away. It will come back. But you've got to have a really strong why. And my why was, I don't want to be in pain one more day. I don't want to be tired one more day. I don't want to be sick one more day. And it gets you through. So if you got to talk to yourself and drown it all with fat. Max's sweet tooth wanted blueberries. I couldn't do sweet things for sweet things. Like, I couldn't trade them out. Plus, I was so angry at plants, and that included fruit, even though the fruit was good and everything. I was mad at all plants. So I wasn't eating them at all. I had to find a way to fight the cravings without fruit. Frozen butter slices with salt. I've never had them frozen. I mean, refrigerated butter I've had, but I really prefer it room temperature. So every morning I'll put out a fresh stick of butter and then salt the top of it. But frozen butter is interesting. I guess that would be good in the summer. Maybe it's like a butter popsicle, a salty butter popsicle. Huzzah, Mike, his cravings are gone. Yeah, I don't have cravings anymore. But here's the funny thing. I know that if I have something that has like stevia or or I unknowingly eat something with sugar, the cravings come back. It triggers more cravings. And so I'd be like, oh, I think I need to stay away from that. Like, I've been avoiding stevia for a long time. So I had a scoop of my son's electrolyte drinks last night just to see what would happen. First of all, it was way too sweet. I couldn't finish it. I had to give it to him. And then the next thing you know, I was thinking about Coke. And I was like, nope, not doing stevia anymore. I don't even think I can handle it taste-wise anyway. I need to get me one of those salt rocks too. Everybody has a salt rock, and I want to be one of the cool kids licking a salt rock in public. I know I'm a dork. Yes, Andrew, I'm the same way. Anything sweet. So if we go to my daughter's restaurant and I order an omelet, it'll be all meat. I will know immediately, one, if they didn't cook it in butter, which they're really sweet. They always cook it in butter for us. They're very respectful of Sarah and they love her to death. So when we come in, because I'm assuming they cook in seed oils, because she has to physically bring the butter packets into the cooks and ask them to cook it with butter. So something tells me they use seed oils. But yeah, I can immediately tell. And I also start getting triggered for other things. And you're like, ooh, I really want it. Like, I could drive past Olive Garden and I'm fine. But if I've had something that is questionable, then I would really consider stopping in and going to order the fettuccine Alfredo. Oh my God. The stuff was so good. But right now, I don't even think about it. Yeah, see, I thought it would just make me crave, but no, I physically, it was too sweet. It was sickening sweet. So I can't do the stevia anymore. Alice, I will keep you in my thoughts. You're carnivore, right? Please tell me you're carnivore. We gotta starve that monster. But I'm so glad you're on the PhD. Yeah, I wonder what kind of people I would attract, Mike, if I was in public licking a salt rock. I mean, my husband, with some of the shirts he wears, already scares vegans. So we went to Sprouts to pick up a rotisserie chicken for my son because he loves it, and my deodorant spray. And my husband was wearing a shirt that simply said carnivore on it. And this woman in the parking lot, we're walking to the store. She is walking and then she goes around him like this and is like got her head down so she's not looking at him, and then returns to her normal walking line after she passes us. And I'm sitting there looking back at her like, does he have something growing on his head? What is that? And so, but yeah, it was humorous. Do you still have IBS, Ellen? I hope your IBS gets better. I have had no stomach issues in over a year. It's so wonderful because it was every time I ate when I was a whole food plant-based. It was bad. Alex, wear a red hat. Same problem. They think you're maggot. Yeah. I'm done understanding people. I'm done. But it is amusing watching them. Exactly. It said carnivore, not cannibal, but you would be surprised how triggering that word is. I mean, because face it, we all know that a big percentage of the people who shop at Sprouts are plant-based or vegan, which is why their meat department is so tiny and their plant department is so huge. But I mean, if you cannot go out in public and be in the vicinity of somebody just because they eat meat, then you might want to look at that. It's a little disturbing. I mean, because as mad as I was at the plant diet, I'm not going to, treat vegans or vegetarians like they're the plague and I'm going to catch something. No, I mean, there's something wrong. And I did have something wrong when I ate plants. There was something wrong up there. Well, yeah, not everybody has to be carnivore. I know I say carnivore. Try to use PhD language because it really covers carnivore, ketovore, keto. That's all part of the proper human diet spectrum. So if I say carnivore, I mean all of it. But it's heavy meat. They are messed up. And I was one of them. And my brain was so messed up, I didn't realize my brain was messed up. That's how messed up it was. And I did at one point have a moment of clarity where I realized I could not read anymore. I mean, I could physically read the words on the page, but I couldn't get through a paragraph and comprehension was much slower. And I'm sitting there going, what is going on? Because I could devour books in 2 to 3 days. And I was getting to the point where I could only read a paragraph. And one day I read a paragraph 3 times. And I'm sitting there going, something is wrong. And yeah. So I think that was part of me, what started me thinking about my diet and how I actually felt, and then realizing I'm not getting better. And so why am I even doing this? And what am I going to do next? So yeah, there was a portion of time where I was very confused and conflicted about what was actually going on and how I was going to fix it. Yes, my cholesterol was disturbing on so many levels. I saw a funny meme about celery, and it's all like, when you feel like you're in the mood for water with hair in it, then you go for the celery. I ate celery one time, and yeah, I didn't eat it again. Yeah, I guess we're secondary vegetarians, exactly. So yeah, I'm gonna have to find that meme now. I wonder if I saved it to my phone because it was so funny. I sent it to my daughters. And it's water with hair in it. And nature's floss, yeah. So I guess if you put peanut butter on it, it would be okay. But peanut butter, alone is not good for you, so can't eat that. Oh, look, it came back. I'm sorry, you're going to have to wait. All right, we've been going at this for an hour. You guys bored yet? I haven't seen any questions lately. Did I miss any? If anybody had a question and I missed it, pop it in there again. If not, I'm going to let you guys go. Because my dog can't come in here and lay on the nice, overly fluffy carpet that is down here. She needs to go downstairs and she can't get through the gate. But, okay. Thank you all for joining me. It's fun to do these lives in the community and really talk to you guys because I learn a lot from you. You ask these questions and I end up learning stuff. So it's nice. It's win-win. It's funny. People to see, places to be, actually just chilling. Montana, is it cold there? Alex, how long have you been eating carnivore? Let's see. I have been eating carnivore for... It's October 10th, so in 2 more days, it will be 17 months. 17 months. And I'm not remotely sick of it. I don't miss my old life or my old foods. I didn't think, I thought that I would be bored of it by now, but I'm not. So I'm going to keep going forever and ever. Carnivore lives with a new bar hopping. You are most welcome, Lorraine. You still eat fruit. Just out of curiosity, Alex, before I go, why do you eat fruit? Is it for the cravings or... I'm just curious. You're welcome, Gail. Alex, my eyes around my pupils have cleared up. Not color brown. Nice. My floaters are gone. That's something to look forward to. Low blood sugar. Are you, Alex, are you wanting to get away from the fruit at some point? Because I do believe you can up your blood sugar nibbling on some cheese or even having an egg. Bread made your nose bleed. Wow. You know what's interesting? Thank you for saying that because I haven't had a nosebleed in forever. And I thought it was because Arizona is so dry. But I haven't had one. That's like an NSV I didn't even know I had. Wow. Thank you for saying that. I had no idea that that could cause bloody noses. See, I did some research about vitamin C and found that grapefruit loaded in carbs and sugar had a bunch of vitamin C. What do you think about eating like once a week? Just curious. it's really up to you and where your metabolic health is. I personally would not. I supplement my vitamin C, and let me see if I can pull this up real quick. I think it's in my cart. I don't use citric acid. I use this sodium ascorbate powder. I don't know if you can see it, but that's what I use. It doesn't bother my stomach, and so that's what I use to supplement my vitamin C. And it's in a powder, so I just scoop it up with a capsule and take that. Bread is just bad, Alex. It's just bad. My dad he's trying to justify eating sourdough bread because it's fermented bread, and I was like, just stop with the bread. But he is really holding on to it to the point where he's not going to be able to go full carnivore. I don't even think it's keto approved, honestly. And I was like, you can't eat that. Stop that. But yeah, I mean, if the grapefruit thing is working, then stick with that. But if you can use a supplement, and I don't recommend most vitamin C supplements. What is it? Citric acid or something like that. Go with the one I showed you. Gentler on the stomach. I don't think it's toxic. I need to get my labs done too. Now, if you don't even like grapefruit, don't eat grapefruit. Try that stuff. If you need some vitamin C, try that. Or and I've been hearing a lot lately, and Dr. Berry has talked about this too, that carnivores don't need as much vitamin C as those on the SAD or plant diet. Our requirements go way down. And there was a big chunk of time where I didn't supplement with vitamin C. I just, whatever I ate, and I didn't have like bleeding gums. I didn't feel bad or anything. The only reason why I use that powder now is I'm reading James DiNicolantonio's book. I think it's called The Collagen Fix. But if you add vitamin C with the collagen, then it's supposed to help it get utilized better. So I'm not taking the vitamin C because I think I'm deficient. I just want to get the most out of the collagen I'm using, because I make a cup of bone broth, I put the collagen in there, and then I just either sprinkle some vitamin C in there or just make it into a pill and take it with that mixture, because my skin got destroyed on the plant diet. So I figured I'd go maybe a year or two kind of replenishing myself to the point where I can normally make my own collagen, which is hard because of my age now too, and try and kickstart the healing of my skin. Because I mean, while it looks 1,000 times better than it did when I was on the plant diet, it's no longer peeling and flaking. It could be a little bit better, but I mean, I'm not going to do it forever. But yeah, if you don't like grapefruit, don't eat the grapefruit. I haven't eaten a banana in 17 months. And they used to be like a staple in my my green drinks because vegetables taste like grass. So I would put blueberries, strawberries, bananas, and sometimes pineapple in to mask the taste of the green plants. It helped a lot, but still, it's still bad. I can't believe I did that. But okay, I'm gonna let you guys go. Oh, and I'm doing another live Thursday with Breaking Thin. I love talking to him. He's awesome. So if any questions pop into your head, come and talk with us on Thursday. And I'm going to be sharing my cheese binge and the repercussions of that and how I'm not going to be eating cheese for a while. It's so bad, but I'm finally starting to feel better. The anxiety's gone. It was bad yesterday. I just kept having to take a deep breath like, I'm okay, I'm okay. But thanks for joining me, guys. Yeah, this has been fun, and I will see you next time.